$31.25. That's what stands between you and a survival kit that covers water, fire, food, first aid, tools, and sanitation. Not from some overpriced tactical website run by a guy who calls himself Alpha Wolf and charges you $40 for a ferro rod. Not from a doomsday bunker catalog where everything comes in tactical black and costs more than your car payment. From Dollar Tree, the same store where your grandma buys birthday cards and off-brand dish soap. And here's the kicker. Item number 19 on this list is something combat medics have used since the jungles of Vietnam to close wounds in the field. It costs less than a pack of gum, and it's sitting on a shelf right now between the school supplies and the craft aisle, because it is the super glue. We'll get there. But first, 24 other items that earn their place in your kit. 25 items, 7 categories, 1 trip. And by the end of this, you'll have a grab-and-go kit that puts you ahead of 90% of the population. The same 90% that'll be standing in a FEMA line 3 days after the lights go out, wondering why nobody warned them. Somebody just did. Rule number 1 of budget prepping, and tattoo this on the inside of your eyelids if you have to. The best survival gear is the gear you actually have when everything goes sideways. That $500 bug-out bag on your Amazon wish list means absolutely nothing if it's still on your wish list when the grid drops. A $31 kit in your trunk, right now, today? That's the difference between a survivor and a statistic. Expensive gear you don't own is a fantasy. Cheap gear in your hands is a lifeline. Stop dreaming, start stacking. And we're starting with the one thing that'll kill you faster than bullets, faster than starvation, faster than anything Hollywood has ever put on screen. Water.
Category 1, liquid gold, water and hydration. You can survive 3 weeks without food. Your body will eat itself, muscle, fat, organs in that order, but it'll keep going. Without water, 3 days, maybe 4 if you're lucky and the weather cooperates. Probably less if you're panicking, sweating, running, or doing literally anything a human does during an emergency. Dehydration doesn't just make you thirsty, it makes you stupid. Your brain starts misfiring. Decision-making collapses. You get confused, dizzy, aggressive, and then your kidneys shut down, and then it's over. Water first, always water first. Number 1, the vessel. Water bottles, 1 liter, 2-pack. Dollar Tree sells 1-liter water bottles in 2-packs, sometimes 3 depending on location. Grab 2 packs minimum. Right now, today, those bottles are full of clean drinking water. That's your immediate emergency supply. 48 to 72 hours of hydration ready to go. But the bottles themselves are the real asset. They're your storage containers, your collection vessels, your transport system. A Nalgene bottle from REI runs you $12 to $15. These run you 62 cents each. Same water, same survival. Label them, date them, rotate every 6 months, and keep them out of direct sunlight because plastic degrades and leaches when UV hits it. Number 2, the strainer. Coffee filters. No, you're not making a latte at the end of the world. Although honestly, if you could, that would be incredible. Coffee filters are your pre-filtration system. Pour river water, puddle water, rain barrel water through a stack of 3 or 4 filters and they catch sediment, dirt, debris, insects, and particulate matter. They won't kill bacteria. They won't remove chemicals. They won't make water safe by themselves. But they are step 1 in a multi-step process that turns brown death soup into something your body can actually process. A professional pre-filter runs $8 to $10. 100 coffee filters, $1.25. Number 3, the purifier. Unscented bleach plain, boring, unscented sodium hypochlorite bleach. 5 to 9% concentration. No fragrances, no color-safe nonsense, no lavender meadow scent, just bleach. This little bottle is the most cost-effective water purification method on the planet, and it's been approved by the EPA for decades. 8 drops per gallon of clear water. 16 drops per gallon of cloudy water. Stir it, let it sit for 30 minutes. If it smells faintly like a swimming pool, it's working. The chlorine kills bacteria, viruses, and most protozoa. Same basic chemistry your municipal water plant uses, scaled down to the apocalypse. 1 bottle purifies hundreds of gallons for $1.25. Write those ratios down. 8 clear, 16 cloudy. That might be the most valuable sentence you hear all year. Quick math check. 3 items in. Total cost so far? $3.75. That's less than a large coffee at Starbucks, and you've already solved the single biggest survival problem, the one that kills faster than anything else on this list. $3.75 for water security. But water doesn't matter much if you bleed out from a cut or a small scrape turns into a raging infection with no hospital in sight. Category 2. The field hospital. First aid and medical. In a grid-down scenario, hospitals are either overwhelmed or unreachable. Every wound is serious. Every scratch is a potential death sentence. And the medical system you've relied on your entire life? Gone. You are your own emergency room now, so let's stock it. Number 4, the seal. Adhesive bandages, variety pack. Different sizes, different shapes. Are they the same quality as name brand Band-Aids? Mostly, yeah. The adhesive might not last as long, but you're covering a wound to prevent contamination. Small cuts become infected. Infected cuts become septic. Sepsis kills. A box of bandages stops that chain at step 1. Name brand runs $4 to $6. Dollar store? $1.25. Your immune system doesn't read labels. Number 5, the compress, gauze pads plus medical tape. When the wound is bigger than a Band-Aid can handle, gauze and tape become your field dressing. Apply pressure, pack the wound, tape it down. Not pretty, not surgical, but it stops bleeding and keeps dirt out, and that's the entire job description. Grab 2 packs of each. You'll burn through gauze faster than you think. One bad cut and half your supply is gone. Number 6, the invisible shield. Triple antibiotic ointment. Your Neosporin without the Neosporin price tag. Same active ingredients, bacitracin, neomycin, polymyxin B. Same FDA-approved formulation. Neosporin costs $7 to $9. This is $1.25. Apply it to every cleaned wound before you bandage. Every single one. In a world without antibiotics, this ointment is liquid gold. Here's what they don't tell you. It's not the initial injury that kills most people in a collapse scenario. It's the infection 3 days later that starts with redness and swelling and ends with fever, delirium, and organ failure. Number 7, the silencer. Pain relievers, ibuprofen or acetaminophen. Dollar store medications are the same FDA-approved formulas as name brand versions. Same dosage, same active ingredient, same manufacturing standards. The only difference is the packaging and the price. Tylenol wants $8, dollar store wants $1.25. For the same pills. Pain management isn't luxury, it's necessity. Pain clouds judgment, slows movement, causes panic. Ibuprofen also reduces inflammation and brings down fever, making it multi-purpose. Check expiration dates, rotate stock, don't skip this one. Number 8, the Fizz hydrogen peroxide, 3% solution, brown bottle. Wound cleaning, surface disinfection, oral hygiene, rinse your mouth with a diluted solution to prevent dental infections. Because a tooth abscess in a grid-down world is genuinely terrifying. That fizzing when you pour it on a cut? That's H2O2 breaking down into water and oxygen, destroying bacteria on contact. One bottle, $1.25. 10 different uses, 12.5 cents per application, 8 items in. Total, so far, $10. You've got water purification, wound care, infection prevention, and pain management for the price of a fast food combo meal. If you stopped here, you'd already be ahead of most people. But you're not stopping, because there's a third killer that most preppers massively underestimate, and it's not what you think. Darkness. Category 03. Taming the dark, light and fire. Not metaphorical darkness. Actual, physical, can't see your hand in front of your face darkness. When the grid goes down, every light in your life goes with it, and something ancient happens in the human brain. Panic, disorientation, primal fear. Thousands of years of evolution screaming that darkness equals predators, danger, death. Rational thought deteriorates. Accidents skyrocket. People trip, fall, cut themselves on things they can't see. And morale craters. Sitting in total darkness for hours, for days, does something to the human psyche that most people aren't ready for. You don't want light, you need light. Number 9, the spark, lighters, multi-pack. Fire is civilization compressed into a chemical reaction. Warmth, cooking, water purification, light, signaling, psychological comfort. A single lighter gives you thousands of ignitions. Unlike matches, lighters work when damp, they're windproof if you cup them right, and they fit in your pocket. Buy 2 packs, store them in different locations. One in your kit, one in your car, one in your jacket. Spread them around like you're hiding Easter eggs. Except these eggs keep you alive. Number 10. The slow burn, emergency candles. A single emergency candle burns 8 to 12 hours continuously. No batteries to die. No circuits to fail. No charging required. Just wax, wick, and physics. The flame produces heat and light simultaneously, and in a small, enclosed space, even one candle raises ambient temperature by a few degrees. Doesn't sound like much until you're spending your third night without heating in January. Then it sounds like everything. Number 11. The beam. LED flashlight candles are static light. Put them down, they glow. You work around them. Flashlights are mobile light. You carry it, direct it, search with it. Dollar store quality isn't surefire military grade, but it illuminates a room and lights a path. That's the point. Golden rule of survival gear. 1 is none, 2 is 1. Grab 2 flashlights. The first one will die at the worst possible moment. They always do. Number 12, the Swiss Army roll, aluminum foil. And I know what you're thinking. Foil? For survival? This might be the most versatile item on the entire list. Cook food in it, on it, and with it. Shape it into a crude bowl or cup for boiling water. Use it as a signal mirror. Crumple it, flatten it, and the surface catches sunlight from multiple angles. Line the inside of a shelter to reflect body heat back toward you. Wrap small electronics as a makeshift Faraday cage. A single roll gives you 10, maybe 15 different survival applications for $1.25. This is the Swiss Army knife of the dollar store. Respect the foil. Everything so far, water, medical, light, fire, keeps your body functional short term. Stops you from dying. But your body is also an engine, and engines need fuel. The next category is where everyone thinks they understand and almost nobody gets right. Category 04. Fuel for the engine. Food and nutrition. Here's the mistake 90% of people make when prepping food. They buy what they normally eat. Pasta, rice, canned soup. Not bad choices, but not optimized choices. In survival, you need 3 things from your food: caloric density, shelf stability, and zero preparation. The ideal survival food sits on a shelf for years, packs massive calories per ounce, and can be eaten cold, straight from the container with no cooking, no heating, no water required. Every step you add, boiling, mixing, cooking, requires resources you might not have and time you can't afford. Number 13. The Calorie King. Peanut butter, the undisputed champion of budget survival food. 1 tablespoon contains roughly 95 calories, along with protein, healthy fats, and dense energy that sustains for hours. A single jar from Dollar Tree gives you about 2,000 calories. No refrigeration, no cooking, no prep. Open the jar. Eat with your fingers if you have to. Nobody's judging you at the end of the world. Shelf life, 1 to 2 years unopened. And the fat content means your body absorbs energy slowly. Sustained performance instead of spike and crash. Number 14. The Tin Soldier. Canned beans/vegetables, pull tab cans if you can find them. In a scenario where you don't have a can opener, and that happens way more often than people admit, a pull tab is the difference between eating and staring at a sealed metal cylinder in frustration. Beans are protein and fiber. Vegetables are vitamins and minerals. Both are already cooked, ready to eat straight from the can. Room temperature baked beans won't win culinary awards. Your body doesn't care about Michelin stars. It cares about not shutting down. Number 15. The Pocket Fuel. Granola bars. Your mobile calories. Walking while eating food. Bug out fuel. In a situation where you're on the move, evacuating, relocating, you don't have time to sit and open a jar of peanut butter. You need calories you can unwrap with one hand and eat while you walk. Granola bars fit in pockets, don't leak, don't crush easily, and deliver quick carbohydrate energy when you need it most. Grab 2 or 3 boxes. Number 16. The Morale Boost. Hard candy. Before you roll your eyes, stop. This is not a treat. This is a survival tool with a sugar coating. Hard candy dissolves slowly, providing sustained simple sugars directly into your bloodstream. When blood sugar drops during high-stress activity, and it will, cognitive function tanks. You make bad decisions. You get shaky and slow. One piece stabilizes blood sugar for 30 to 45 minutes, buying time to find real food or make critical choices with a clear head. It's also the single best tool for calming a panicked child. If you're bugging out with kids who are scared, exhausted, and crying, a piece of candy buys cooperation and quiet. Don't underestimate something sweet when the world tastes like ash. Remember item 19 I mentioned at the beginning? We're getting close. But the next category is what separates someone who's scared from someone who's prepared. You've got supplies. Now you need the ability to actually do something with them. Category 05. The hands, tools, and utility. Right now you can drink, patch yourself up, see in the dark, and eat. But you can't fix anything, can't build, can't cut, can't adapt. You're alive but helpless, and helpless is just a longer word for dead. Number 17. The patron saint, duct tape. The single most problem-solving object ever created by human civilization, and I will die on that hill. Shelter torn? Duct tape. Shoe sole detaching? Duct tape. Splint a broken finger? Duct tape and 2 sticks. Seal a window against wind, dust, or fallout? Duct tape. Patch a water container? Duct tape. Makeshift bandage when you're out of gauze? Clean cloth plus duct tape. A professional survival grade roll costs $5 to $8. Dollar store version, $1.25. The adhesive might not be as aggressive. The roll might not be as long. But the physics of sticky fabric bonded to surfaces works the same at any price point. Number 18. The waterproof vault. Ziploc bags, gallon. Your waterproofing system. Take every important document. License, insurance, birth certificates, medication lists, emergency contacts. Copy them, fold them, seal them in Ziplocs. Water destroys paper in minutes. A flood, a burst pipe, a rainstorm during evacuation. Your identity and critical info are gone, unless they're in sealed plastic. Ziplocs also work as makeshift water containers, food storage, and wound irrigation devices. Fill one with clean water, poke a small hole, and you've got a controlled stream for flushing debris from a cut. Excellent for organizing your kit too. Medical in one bag, fire tools in another. Everything labeled, sealed, visible. Now, item number 19. The one I told you about at the very start. The one combat medics used in the jungles of Vietnam. The one that costs less than a pack of gum and sits on a dollar store shelf like it's nothing special. Number 19. The Battlefield Stitch. Super glue cyanoacrylate adhesive. Discovered during World War II when researchers were trying to make clear plastic gun sights. They stumbled onto a substance that bonded to everything it touched almost instantly. It was annoying, messy, and then somebody in a field hospital realized, wait, this bonds skin too. Within years, a medical-grade version called Dermabond was being used in emergency rooms to close wounds without stitches. Dermabond costs $30 or more for a single-use vial. Dollar store superglue contains the same core compound, cyanoacrylate, for $1.25. Now let me be very clear, this is not a replacement for professional medical care. Not a substitute for stitches in a deep laceration. Never use it on puncture wounds, animal bites, or heavily contaminated injuries. But in a grid-down, no hospital, no doctor scenario with a clean, moderate cut that won't stop bleeding. Clean the wound, pinch the edges together, apply a thin line along the surface. Hold for 30 seconds. The adhesive bonds skin edges into a waterproof seal that holds for days. It stings. It's not pleasant, but it stops bleeding, prevents contamination, and buys you time. $1.25. For emergency wound closure, sitting in aisle 7 between the office supplies and the party decorations. I told you it was worth the wait. Number 20. The Edge. Box cutter / utility knife. A blade is the most fundamental tool in human history. Cutting cordage, opening packages, stripping wire, preparing food, fashioning tools, building shelter. A decent utility knife at a hardware store runs $8 to $12. Dollar store carries them for $1.25, sometimes with replacement blades included. It's not a K-bar, it's not a Benchmade, but it cuts things. And cutting things is approximately 40% of survival. Number 21. The Lifeline. Rope / clothesline. 50 feet. Is it paracord? Number paracord has 550-pound tensile strength and 7 internal strands for fine work. Dollar store clothesline has none of that. What it has is 50 feet of functional cordage for $1.25. Lash branches for a shelter frame. Hang food from trees to keep animals away. Create a drying line for wet clothes. Rig a tripwire alarm. Tie at shin height between trees with empty cans attached, and anything walking through announces itself. 50 feet of line opens up a world of improvised engineering. Is it the best rope? No. Is it rope? Yes. And having rope is infinitely better than not having rope. Now let's talk about something nobody covers in survival videos. The thing that's less glamorous than fire starting and less cinematic than wound closure. But here's a fact that should terrify you. In every major disaster, every societal collapse, every prolonged grid-down event in recorded history, more people have died from disease and sanitation failure than from violence, starvation, or exposure, combined. Category 06, the invisible war, hygiene and sanitation. When the water stops flowing through pipes, when sewage backs up, when garbage stops being collected, and millions of people are suddenly managing waste with no infrastructure, cholera, dysentery, typhoid, and a dozen other diseases explode through the population like wildfire. The Black Death didn't wipe out a third of Europe because of swords and sieges. It spread because of rats, fleas, and catastrophically poor sanitation. History has a lesson. Clean hands save more lives than loaded guns. Number 22. The Shapeshifter, heavy-duty trash bags. Not just for garbage, though waste management is critical. These bags are emergency ponchos. Step in, cut holes for head and arms, waterproof outer layer. Ground covers and lay one down before sleeping on bare earth, creating a moisture barrier that blocks conduction heat loss. Rain catchment, spread flat with a depression in the center during a storm. Privacy screens, blackout curtains, wind barriers, 5 or more critical survival functions from a product that costs $1.25. Get the heavy-duty ones, thick contractor style, not thin kitchen bags. Number 23, the Double Agent. Hand sanitizer, alcohol-based, 60% ethanol or higher. Primary function, hand hygiene without water. In a scenario where clean water is too precious to waste on hand washing, sanitizer kills the majority of bacteria and viruses on contact. Use before eating, after treating wounds, after handling waste. But here's the bonus round that should make every prepper smile. That same alcohol content makes hand sanitizer an exceptional fire accelerant. Squeeze a small amount onto kindling, spark your lighter, instant ignition even in damp conditions. The alcohol burns hot and clean. A hand sanitizer and a fire starter in one bottle. Dual purpose, $1.25. The preppers paying attention just nodded. Number 24. The Abscess Killer, toothbrush plus baking soda. I can feel some of you checking out. Toothbrush? Really? At the end of the world? Yes, really. Because here's what a dental infection looks like without modern dentistry. It starts with a toothache. Annoying but manageable. Then the gum swells. Then the infection spreads to the jaw. Then the jaw swells shut and you can't eat. Then the infection enters your bloodstream. Then sepsis. Then you die. That progression, from "ow, my tooth hurts" to critical condition, can happen in 5 to 7 days without antibiotics. A toothbrush and baking soda prevents the bacteria buildup that starts that chain. Baking soda also works as an antacid for upset stomach, a mild cleaning agent, and an odor neutralizer. Another multi-use item, $1.25 for dental survival insurance. Take the deal. One more item, just one. And honestly, this might be the most important thing on the entire list. It's not a tool, not a chemical, not food, water, or medicine. And it's not what you'd expect. Category 07, the final piece. Information number 25. The Offline Brain, notebook plus pencil. Right now, you have access to every piece of information ever created by human civilization. It's in your pocket, it's on your desk. You can look up water purification ratios, first aid procedures, edible plant identification, medication dosages, emergency frequencies, anything in seconds. And all of it disappears the moment the grid goes down and your phone battery hits 0. Your phone will die. That is not a possibility. That is a certainty. When it does, everything you didn't write down disappears with it. Emergency contacts, medication lists, water ratios, 8 drops clear, 16 cloudy, blood types, meeting points, insurance info. Maps, gone, evaporated. A notebook and a pencil is your offline hard drive. Your backup brain. Your EMP-proof, water-resistant if you bag it, never needs charging information storage system. And pencil, not pen, for a specific reason. Pens freeze in extreme cold. Pens dry out in heat. Pens fail when wet. Pencils work everywhere. Desert, Arctic, monsoon. Graphite on cellulose is the most reliable writing technology humans have ever invented. Write down everything, right now, today, while you still have internet. Water purification methods, first aid steps, medication dosages, emergency frequencies, contact numbers, local maps and rally points, skills from videos like this one. Because the moment you need that information most is the exact moment it becomes impossible to Google it. Everyone focuses on gear, on tools, on things. But information, organized, accessible, written down, protected in a Ziploc bag, is the ultimate survival multiplier. The notebook doesn't cut, doesn't purify, doesn't heal, doesn't light, but it remembers. And in a world where everything is falling apart, the ability to remember is the ability to survive. $1.25 for a brain that never crashes. So let's add it up. 25 items, 7 categories: water, first aid, light and fire, food, tools, hygiene, and information. Total cost at $1.25 per item, $31.25. Less than a Friday night pizza for a family of 4. Less than 2 movie tickets with popcorn. And you now have a functional survival kit that covers the basic hierarchy of human needs in an emergency. Now, the system I promised. Go back to Dollar Tree. Buy a large tote bag or drawstring backpack. Another $1.25. Take your Ziploc bags and divide everything into category bags. Medical, water, fire, food, tools. Label each one. Put them in the tote. Notebook on top. First thing you reach. Put it by your door or in your trunk. Set a reminder for 6 months to check expiration dates and repack. 10 minutes twice a year. Grand total, $32.50 for a complete, organized grab-and-go survival kit. This is a starting point, not an end point. But every expert started somewhere. Every deep pantry started with one can of beans. Every skill set started with one piece of knowledge in one notebook. This is yours somewhere. You can close this video and do nothing. Most people will. Or you can drive to Dollar Tree this weekend, build the kit, write in the notebook, put the bag by the door, and sleep differently knowing you've got a fighting chance. If this helped, hit subscribe and drop a comment. What's the one item you'd add to this list? I read every single one. Stay prepared, stay smart, stay alive.